Hello everyone and welcome back to another Raid Shadow Legends video. I hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am because Personal Rewards CVC has just kicked off, which means we get to do lots of exciting things. As a free-to-play player, I get to save all of my booking for the special occasion, and I also try to save a lot of my summons, and I've got an exciting champion to summon today. I actually get to use my fragment summon for my Embrys, who I picked up from Chimera last week. He's going to be such a massive boost to the account, so we'll play test him out a bit later in the video, and I thought I'd just provide an overall account update for you guys and just how we're going. Overall, not too much has changed since I last ran you through the account. We are going to get some massive power boosts today. Of course, I am lacking my void shards because I did pull them all trying to get some good legendaries and complete the event in order to get April, which I'll quickly chat about April. I will get her during this CVC. Unfortunately, I don't think I'll be pulling her in this video. I'm at 1440 points. Very exciting. I should get her by the end. I've just got to finish this Dungeon Divers or Gear Hunters event and the Dragon Tournament, which should happen tomorrow or at the latest the day after, but I will be able to pull her during this CVC event. So she will be another boost to the account. I'm not sure how much I'll use her, but it will get me one more step to collecting all the turtles. I've actually done something very exciting today. I've summoned my 3 champions just for this video. It's Ancient Shards, it's progressive, I've got plenty. I'm going to put Grand Oak Podrick in because I need another ally attacker. So maybe we will get lucky here. Again, wouldn't recommend this. Progressive chance just increases your chance very minimally to around 5% of summoning these champions, but it doesn't boost your overall summoning odds. So I'm still representing here a 0.5% chance, but I mean, I've got 218 shards, so I just thought I might as well give it a go. So we'll go into the first summon here. Of course, we are just expecting blue for all 3 summons here. First blue, I'm not going to talk about it. Fortress Goon, interesting name. Moving on, another blue I'm expecting here. Happens to the best of us. We're going to go one more time here. See what we get. Hopefully we get the legendary, but a 0.5% chance, and it's another blue, and that's why you don't do that. Nahorn. He's great for Phantom Shogun. If you don't have one, he can be used there, but don't do what I just did. I've got plenty of Ancient Shards. Alright though, I think it's enough of kicking around the bush. Let's get this fragment summon going. Here we go. Embrys' second mythical I will have after I was very lucky to pull an Ashnar. Let's get him on the account. Great animation. See all the red, the massive portal here. What a good animation. And he's joined the account plus 60,000 points. Such a large amount of CVC points. I'd really recommend saving if you guys care about pushing CVC as your clan, especially given its personal rewards. We'll give a shout out, of course, to Saviors of Raids War here. We should, I think, be in a position to win this. I only have 14, but everyone will be pushing pretty hard. Lots of people will have their Aprils and stuff, so we should be in a great spot. Let's go check him out here. Recently summoned. Here he is. Of course, Embrys is a massive PvP champion, especially in his alternate form, but where he does more damage. His first form's a bit more support-like. He's got a Stone Skin strip here, which is removes any Stone Skin buff and replaces them with True Fear debuffs. It's a great ability. It's one of the only ones that will just remove Stone Skin. He's got his A2 here on his main form, which places True Fear debuffs on all enemies for 1 turn and a 50% decrease attack on all enemies for 2 turns, and grants an extra turn. So basically, you can either go to Strip Stone Skin, running really fast, have him go before your first nuker, or you can go into this A2, he gets an extra turn, then you change forms into his alternate form here, which is a massive damage dealing form. You've got a health swap here, which is great to use because when you use it, it increases his ignore defense by 10%. So great to open with that one. And then you've got his massive AoE here, which does a ton of damage, and you've got a block revive on his A1. So he's a great champion. Great to build him in Stone Skin lethal. I'll probably try and get mine in Stone Skin. I'm not sure if I'll be able to get him in lethal just because I don't have that much lethal gear, but he'll be a massive boost to the account. He'll go straight into my arena team, and especially will get a lot of use in the live arena. So I think we should probably get him up now. We'll put a, I believe it's a Feast, Mega Brew. We'll put a Mega Brew straight into him here, take him straight to level 60, 50,000. I'm running very low on silver, so I'll have to keep an eye on that. Here we go, Embrys straight to 60. Will we have all the stuff to ascend him here? We're missing 2 of these potions, so let's quickly go to the potion mixer, get 2 more superior arcane potions, and bang. 8,800 points there. Embrys is ready to go. Very exciting. How's he looking? Ahead of Ashnar in the team order. So I'll build out Embrys in a second and we'll give him a run around in Classic Arena. But firstly, I wanted to do some booking of my champions. I've been working towards getting my Ashnar's alternate form fully booked. I've been trying to book out his A3, and unfortunately it's the last book that will get me there. I only really wanted the cooldown for Hydra on this A3 because it's a 2-turn provoke. On a 3-turn cooldown would make my life a lot easier. So we'll grab that now. 1 mythical book here, put that straight in. that will finish booking him out in his alternate form. I don't think I'm going to book out his primary form because he really only gets a cooldown reduction on his A2, which is good, but again, I'm trying to save my mythical books for when I get Mikage at this stage, and I don't think I will be looking to book my Embrys. He doesn't really need books. Like, you can get the cooldown reduction, but when he's running in Arena, you probably don't need that cooldown reduction. You can get a bit of ignore resistance. In his alternate form, you're mainly looking for the extra damage it provides here. Like, damage plus 20% is good, damage plus 30% on the A1 is very good. But if you're running low on mythical books, if you're free to play, don't have many, I wouldn't recommend booking him until you're much later into the game. It's better to save those books for a support champion who needs those cooldown reductions, whilst, as I said earlier, Embrys is mainly used in PvP. So I do have another champion I would like to book, and that is my Donatello here. I'm really looking to build a Sand Devil team with him, as I've seen basically from Bront Cat Herder that you can use his passive here to save your reviver, revive everyone, and then cycle back through. So the Sand Devil will kill your entire team, but Donnie's passive will stop your reviver from dying if you put them in the team lead, and that will enable you to get a Sand Devil team going, for which I'm stuck on level 15. So that would be great. I haven't pulled a Godseeker and Neri, so it could be very beneficial to the account. So we're going to go with, I think we're going to go with the 2 books to start with, see if they go in. Into the A2 and the A3, not bad. Again, we're probably only trying to avoid books on the A1 at this stage. I wouldn't mind booking out the other skills. We've gone straight into the A3, which is good. Cooldown reduction, level 4. So the A3 is now fully booked. Keep slowly going through it. Booked the A... Oh, got the passive and the A2. So again, we'll go 2 more books. Hopefully they split and we can avoid the A1. Have not avoided the A1. We're going to go 1 book now at a time. Hopefully this goes into the passive. You can hope. No. Into the A1. He's only going to take 2 more books now. We'll see. Can we get it? Unfortunately, we're going to have to fully book him. Again, it's not that bad. You get an extra bit of heal on his A1, and he will use his A1 quite a lot, especially if you're pairing him up with the other Ninja Turtle. So overall, good pickup. I'll be able to run him in Sand Devil now. I will also take him to... I do have some food prepared in order to take him straight to 6 stars. So we'll grab that now. I'll do that on camera for you guys. Yeah, great champion Donatello. Probably only behind Leonardo in terms of the turtles of where they sit. He's a great champion, great support. So we'll take him straight to 6 star now. Yep, that is fine. And there we have Donnie ready to go. Again, a couple more of these superior arcane potions. And Donnie is now fully booked. 6 star, ready to go for this Sand Devil team. So very exciting times. And then I've also got one more champion I want to book who I recently pulled from the Void summoning session that I did. And that would be my Demitha. So I can build a Seeker team, Demitha Seeker team for Clan Boss if I want to. But overall, she's a great champion. We're looking for the books in the A2 here. We don't really need the books in the A1. It's just a lot of shield increase and damage. So we're going to go with 5 epic books to start with. Hopefully they go all straight into the A2, and they've all gone into the A1, which is very unfortunate, but I'm playing RNG with this game. So we'll go again, see if we can get them in. Split. We don't have a fully booked Demitha, but that's alright. I've got the epic books to spare, so we should be chilling on that side. So now Demitha is fully booked. Very exciting. How are we looking with the points? So I am tier 5, I should say. Sorry, I haven't quite made it to tier 6. It's quite a lot of points. You really need to push quite hard. So last time, I can't remember, I didn't get 393. I just got to the tier 10 reward last time, but didn't push high enough in order to get into tier 6. Would love to get that Sacred Shard at one stage, but overall, we should be able to push up and grab the final milestone here, especially with the amount of points. We'll check it out, 125,000 so far. The final thing I would just want to do before I go and book my Embrys is I'm going to finish putting in some points into my Great Hall here. Of course, I saved them just to put in during CVC for those extra points. So we're going to finish out the spirit-based crit damage here, which is great for my Newt. And now we're going to go into Force because Embrys is there, Tholen is there. I believe those are the main ones that I'm looking for. I will have a quick check. But it's really hard to decide because I've got a lot of damage dealers across multiple different affinities. So I have Ashnar, Embrys, and Tholen, who I think will probably be up and most important. Crocat is the main magic damage dealer at this stage. He would, of course, really benefit from that extra crit damage, but again, I think 3 champions compared to 1, I'm going to get more value. Of course, Alice there, but I don't use Alice as much anymore. But I did my Spirit originally specifically just to get that Newt maxed out, just because he's in so many of my dungeon teams. And I also have Uzul. Void will be important when I get Leonardo, but don't have Leonardo yet. So I'd rather just get the benefit now. So we'll go and do the Force here. I'd really recommend saving your upgrades for the Great Hall for CVC. It's just free extra points. So we'll go through them all now, see how high we can go. I'd say probably going to be stuck there. So yeah, level 7. So we're looking at an extra 15% crit damage, which will make the builds a lot easier to get those statistics on. So I'll quickly go off camera now, build Embrys, and I'll get back to you guys to test him in some Classic Arena. I've just finished putting together my Embrys build now, and we'll go test him out in Classic Arena, as unfortunately Live Arena isn't open at the moment, but I'll show you guys the build here, and I think it's pretty realistic of what you will be able to get when you haven't been playing the game for longer than a year. And I don't think I've really been keeping great HP damage dealer gear. As you think about those attack damage dealers and those defense-based damage dealers, but I didn't really think about HP damage dealers until quite recently, and as well because I'm trying to build him in 1-turn Stone Skin. My gear is going to be slightly worse as it's been harder for me to get Stone Skin gear, and unfortunately I don't have any Ignore Defense gear good enough that I can make a set out of it to really put it on him. So I used the Hell Hades Optimizer to get this build. I prioritized the damage on his A2 in his alternate form, and I let this build draw from all the gear on my account, so I wasn't locked. So it's taken some gear off Crocad, some gear off Tholan, so I have to redo those builds. But I just wanted to see what my Embrys could do built for 220 speed max damage on his A2 with all the best gear on my account. So he's got 65k HP, which again is not that much. 260 crit damage is alright. I've built him with no accuracy because I'm looking for that extra ignore defense on his A2. So if he ignores 50% of the enemy's defense whose accuracy is equal to or higher, or he does double damage if it's the opposite way around. And typically you'll get more damage out of ignoring 50% of the enemy's defense, just because ignoring 50% defense is typically better than doing double damage. But bear in mind, the more ignore defense you have, the better results you will get. So if you had a lethal set on where you got that extra ignore defense, you'd be doing a lot more than what I would be doing now. But again, I just don't have the gear. Most of the Embrys I typically see on other content creators' accounts run over 100,000 HP much quicker than mine, and of course more crit damage. So I think it will be interesting just to see how much damage he can actually do in a very mediocre build, I think. So we'll go test him out in Classic Arena. We'll go take on this first team here. This is the team I'll be running. Arbiter just for an initial speed boost to make sure I go first. Fabian for the lockout and strip. Then I have Ashnar who does a turn meter boost and weaken to make sure I don't get cut in on. And then Embrys will go. So we'll go straight into this first fight here. I wouldn't imagine it will be too difficult. Should easily win the speed race. So we go Arbiter here. Fabian strip. Of course, Mithrala resists. That's fine. I think I will go for the Petrification on the Sun Wukong. Killed the Sun Wukong there. Not quite ideal, but we do have these Necrosis stacks out. So we're going to go with Ashnar's A3 turn meter boost here, HP burn and weaken. And this is when we get to test out. So I can choose to use his A3 here, which is a Stone Skin strip. Obviously, there's no Stone Skin, so I won't be using it. You could choose to use his A2, and his A2 here wouldn't be that bad because if you have a look at it, if they have Necrosis stacks, it can't be resisted. So having no accuracy here doesn't matter because they can't resist, but I still could get polymorphed. So if you're using him from damage, be careful with using this ability because it makes him more susceptible to polymorphs. I think I'll go ahead and use this ability here. Decrease attack. Fear is out, we're doubling up, and then we're going to change forms here, go into his alternate form. You can either choose to open up with the life swap here, so you get an extra 10% ignore defense if you use this, or you can choose to save it for later in a fight, because I've seen some ways where it can be used to get around Neve's block damage here by swapping her health lower than that 50%, so that can be a cool way to circumvent it. Obviously no Neve, so I'm going to open up, get that extra 10% ignore defense, so I'm going to swap health with the Alice, and here we're going to go into the big A2 nuke, see what damage we can do. Not a lot of damage there. The Seal is probably quite tanky. The Unkillable has popped up on the Alice, and then the Mithrala obviously still survived, and we probably, I'm going to say, weak hit on the Wukong. So we'll keep going and see how we go. Of course, we still got the block revive. The entire team is very low. We've basically still won this fight, though, because we've got a lot of CC out on the enemy team. Shouldn't be too much of an issue just to wrap this up right now. We're going to go into Ashnar's A2 here, and that is wiped out the rest of the team. So we'll go in another fight, test it out. This team will be a bit tankier here with the Freya and the Harima and the Python, and of course the Vault Keeper Wixwell. We should easily win the speed race here. Same thing, we're going to go. Wixwell is going to counter attack here, but that's alright. He's weak hit on the Fabian. We're going to go straight into the A3 turn meter boost here once again, and this time we're going to ignore any of his abilities in his form 1. We're going to swap straight away here. We're going to go for the health swap from the Python, and we're going to see what damage we can do. Again, much tankier team, so I wouldn't expect us to really kill anyone here. We haven't. That's fine. They're all very low though, so we should be able to clean up here quite easily. We're just on an A1 on the Python. Hopefully that kills them. Now the Necrosis stacks are up, so they'll be taking damage. We're going to go with the A2 on the Fabian. Here, lock out the Wixwell. Straight over. I'm just going to form swap with Ashnar and clean up this fight now. Ashnar's built very well, so he should just kill them all. Again, this is basically what you can expect from those type of statistics on a Embrys. Again, 65k HP, 260 crit damage, 220 speed, and no blessing. Of course, blessings make such a huge difference. We'll go into this other fight here with the Cheshire Cat. Again, another very tanky team. We've got the UDK, not built in stone skin. We easily go first once again. We'll see if we can do the strip. We're not going to get the extra turn though, because of the lightning cage. And again, into Embrys here, we're going to go form swap straight away. We're going to go swap on the UDK, and then we're going to see what damage we can do. Again, 3 weak affinities here, so I'm not expecting huge results. Go in. Block damage went up on the Cheshire Cat, which means he would have died at that stage, so we're going to go and see if we can strip those off with Arbiter. Unfortunately not. Grand Oak Podrick there, going in with the A1 with just an A2, oh A1, sorry, on Fabian. We're going to go here. I think we're going to activate all those HP burns across all the champions. Hopefully we can get around and test out the A1. We're going to go turn meter boost here. I know it's the res. Unfortunately, we got cut in on. The main point here is I want to test out Embrys is A1 here and see what we can do. So I'm going to decrease the turn meter on the Grand Oak Podridge. Here we go. See if we can block revive the UDK here. Bang. Block revives out. 12k damage. Not a whole lot. But again, seeing that block revive at work, we're going to form swap with Ashnar here and just go into his big A3 nuke and taking them out. So we'll see if we can find a slightly squishier team at this stage. I think this team should be squishy. Running the similar setup here with the Fabian and the Arbiter. I should go first. The Fabian is in feral at this stage here with the block debuffs, but again, should be able to strip that all off. Alice is counterattacked. Fabian still lives. We're going to petrify the Arbiter here because, of course, Fabian gets himself out of those hard CCs. Turn meter boost here on the Ashnar. We're going to go form swap. We're going to go lifesteal for that extra 10%. Ignore defense, and here we go. See what damage we can do. Much better damage against the squishier team. Much better results here, and then killed. So I think it's been interesting so far. I mean, I'll give it one more attempt here. I'll try this nice team. I wouldn't expect me to win this, but just for the sake of showing you guys, I'll see what we can do. Of course, it's got a Gaius the Gleeful here, so they will also be using bombs. Easily win the turn meter race here, the speed race. Lockout, weak hit on the nice, which is unfortunate. Turn meter boost. And we are going to go form swap. And then I think we'll go... We won't go use the A3 this time to start with. We'll just straight up open with the A2. See what damage we can do. Got the Necrosis popped on the nice. They took a bunch of damage there. Fortunately, they've got the stun reflected because Wand of Submission. And we should have this fight wrapped up. If they had used their other ability, we would have been in a bit more of a pickle with that protected block damage, as I don't have any way to get through the block damage, which is the A3 with Ashnar there, and game is good. So I wasn't expecting us to win that, but we did win it. I think I would struggle against a couple of these other teams. This team looks incredibly tanky with the Arbes and the Lazarius. This is why you want to build your Embrys in stone skin for instances like this with the Hegemon, where you're not going to go first. So here, the Hegemon's not going to do anything against the Embrys, just because he's in stone skin. We are locked out, which I didn't think about too much, because we might not end up going first here. We'll decrease the turn meter on the Arbiter. We are still locked out. It'll be interesting to test to see if we go first here or not. No, but again, this is why we built the Embrys in stone skin. Has been stripped though, which you hate to see. See if the Embrys can go. Whoa. Yeah. So, unfortunately, I didn't think about the rest of the champions being locked out there, but there you go. You get to see some testing gone wrong. So overall, good champion. Really, really good champion. Great for PvP. My build probably needs to be a bit better for me to get the most value out of him. Like, I probably do more damage with my Tholan just because he's got that 5-star soul. I've got better attack gear on my account. I can show you guys my Tholan build actually quickly. So he's just here. He sits at around 5k attack, 376 crit damage, 220 speed. So you can see the difference there in the builds, of course. attack-based damage dealer compared to HP-based damage dealer. Hey everyone, Future Max here, just to butt in on myself. I was going through and editing the video, and I just wanted to test out my Embrys in max damage, so basically removing that stone skin just to see what the stats difference was, and if he performed any better. Of course, you want him built in stone skin mainly to counter Marius and that A1, because if you get enfeebled, you're not going to do any damage. So that's why you would use the stone skin. Really recommended, especially for live arena. But of course, the stats weren't great, so I wanted to test him out in just his max damage build without using stone skin, and this is what we got with. So we got more HP, more crit damage, but most importantly, he's in 4-piece lethal now, which means he will be ignoring 25% defense. So when he uses his A2, he will be ignoring a lot of defense. So he's got 50% plus the 60 plus another 25, as you're looking at 85% ignore defense, which is a huge improvement from the original 60 that we were looking at. And as I said earlier, of course, the more ignore defense you have, the better, as it just stacks. As you get more ignore defense, it stacks better as you get more of it. So we'll try out this Neve team. We're not going to do that because of the block damage. We'll test out this Odin team and see how we go. Hopefully we win the speed race here. We've of course got to be careful for Odin's block damage, which happens every 9 turns. So 1, Fabian here. 2, then we're going to petrify the Odin. 3, 4, and then we'll swap forms here with Embrys after its Arbiter. So that's 5. This will be 6. We're going to health swap. 7, and then 1 turn before the block damage comes up, we're going to go in with the A2 and lots more damage. So I might end up building my Embrys without having stone skin, just because that damage increase is so significant with the lethal. We can test out another team here. I think we'll go with this team. We'll see how he does against the other Embrys. He's probably built in 1-piece, 110 stone skin. No, he's not. The UDK is though, so we'll see how we can do. Hopefully we can strip the UDK stone skin. Didn't get the 50% chance, but that's okay. We're going Embrys here, form swap. We should be able to nuke most of the team, I would assume, at this stage. So we're up to 85% ignore defense now. Going in. The Harima has probably saved the team there with the Harima passive, but that's okay. Huge increase in damage is what I'm trying to say, basically. So I've got a decision to make about whether I decide to take off the stone skin, do less damage, or if I want to use the lethal build and do much more damage. And at this stage, I'm actually leaning towards using the lethal build. Anyway, that's enough of me. Just wanted to show you guys that if I built the Embrys a bit differently, I could do a lot more damage. So hope you guys enjoy the rest of the video. But overall, excited to use him. Can't wait to get some better gear, test him out. I hope you guys enjoyed the playtest. I hope you guys enjoyed the account update. And most importantly, I hope you guys found it useful just to see what a regular Joe can do in their Embrys with not having insane gear. Otherwise, have a great rest of your day. And if you have any suggestions, comments, thoughts, remember to leave them down in the comments below.